the whole world music to sing a simple melody, to sing about all the joys and good times, yeah. You see, that's the way God meant for it to be. And if you don't like it, you don't have to sing. You don't have to sing my song. If you don't like it, you don't have to play. You don't have to play my song. If you don't like it, you don't have to sing. You don't have to sing my song. If you don't like it, you don't have to play my song. I'd love to sing a song for all the children. They are our future. Can you see? Take a little time out for the babies and teach them about love, hope, and prosperity.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Now I'm on Central Time, I think. Okay. Yolanda, Cooper, Yvette, I feel like I'm part of the family, okay? So call it Yvette. Yvette, thank you so much. She she asked me because I've already done one webcast because my phone has this time, which is 7 minutes after 2, and Central Time is, let me see, 7 minutes after 1. So I was going by my phone's time, and which is here, and my computer's still on Central Time. So here I am. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you. So I am going to do another one for those who tune in with us at 1 p.m. Central Time and at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. I'm so thankful to God. Lord, as I sit here to speak, before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. So thank you so much, Yolanda. She is helping me out. And I thank you. I appreciate it. Don't you just love it when people love you enough that they want to see about you, they want to make sure things are on track and everything is just so good. I hear, I don't, well, they have a key to this door, so that's the next door. Okay, so God bless me with a safe trip to here in Florida. My children we met up here, and I'm so thankful to God for that. So my topic for an hour ago was why does misery love company? And so this one is being yourself. And you, if you notice, I just had yourself on there. Be yourself. That's what I plan to be. I work on it every day of being myself, being who God made me to be, not to try to live for somebody else. There, I go put it on my clothes. I don't know why I can't keep my clothes right up there, but anyway, God, be who God made us to be, and as I said Tuesday, be yourself, be all you can be to yourself. But this is talking about be yourself, and this is one of my favorite sites. I hadn't been on here in a while, which is lifehack.org. Lifehack.org. There are 10 ways to always be yourself and live happily. And I think I mentioned that Cleester is not feeling well today, and Eula, of course, we've mentioned that she's gone back to her work at school. They've opened up again, and so for a couple of months she might not be live, but we're working out a way to get her on and starting next week. And then also, before I get into my topic, I want to remind you that tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, the Let the Women Speak revival from the Lighthouse Women's Ministry Association of America Incorporated will be right here on my YouTube, Facebook, and what is it, Twitter or Twitch pages. So we'll be live tonight on these formats. So I'm going into subject 10 ways to always be yourself. Thank you so much for joining me. 10 ways to always be yourself. As you were probably told, and this is by Michelle Schroeder, okay? You were probably told when you were in elementary school, just be yourself. You can be a much happier person once you figure out who you really and truly are and when you learn how to be yourself. Now, if you're like most people, then you have probably told yourself that things would be better if there were certain changes in your life or changes in yourself. You can make these positive changes yourself, be proactive, and have a more positive outlook about yourself. It's all about yourself, what you think about yourself. Okay? It's all about you. So here are 10 ways to learn to be yourself and live more happily. Number one, don't aim to please others. Okay? Don't aim to please others. There's a problem if you are never doing what you want to do, yet always doing what everyone else wants to do. So this is why you shouldn't please others but yourself. And there's a link right there, okay? Pleasing others can be a nice thing to do, but know where your boundaries are. Instead of always aiming to please others, you should do things for yourself as well as every now and then. This is great advice. This is why this is one of my favorite sites. This is lifehack.org. Lifehack.org. It's another one of my favorite sites. You know, Psychology Today, and it's a psych uh, there's another website. There's a few that I like, which probably about three or four of them. So not many because I don't just grab anything just because it's there and relay it because I want everything to be sound and be good, positive advice and news to each of you and myself first. Okay, so we're talking about being yourself. Number two, don't worry about how others view you. And if you remember, I told you about how it used to bother me in my younger days about what people were thinking and things like that. And this evangelist told me, he said, Shirley, he said, these people will kill you, go to your funeral, bury you, and then find somebody else to do the same thing too. And so, what I'm saying, the same thing too. They'll find somebody else, another victim or another project, and do the same thing to that person. So, what he was saying to me, you stop being concerned about what people think of you, what people are saying. You be who God made you to be and who He wants you to be, and you be happy for yourself. Make yourself happy first. And that's what I stress over and over and over again. Okay, don't worry about how others view you. This is number two. Occasionally, thinking about how others view you may make you change for the good, but you should not be constantly wondering about what others are thinking. You should change if you want to and change into what or who you want to change into. You yourself and you, okay? You, be you first. Be you first, Okay, you're gonna step on some toes, but hey, they just have to get some band-aids or something, or put some what is that stuff you put on your feet and your toes, whatever that stuff is, corn stuff and all that kind of stuff. They just have to patch themselves up and go on about their business and take some positive points from you and your life. Because you are taking control, if you haven't already, of your own life. Don't worry about what others or how others view you. How others view you. Do you understand that some people want to be you? They want to be you, even though they have a whole person in themselves who they could be and make the best of life for them, but yet they're envious of you and they see how you God is using you and how you're doing and how you're such a positive person, how you're living your life, how you're prosperous, how you're doing things, you're in health, and they see all the positivity in your life, and instead of focusing on themselves and trying to get that positivity for themselves, not taking your light away, but bringing some light. How does she do it? And can even say, well, oh, you're so happy. You seem like you're just doing so well. However they want to put it. Could you give me some pointers? I'd like to do better here. I'd like to do better there. So stop worrying about how people see you or how they view you, because some of them just want to be you. Okay, instead of taking advantage of being who the best of whom they can be. Okay. Number three, learn more about yourself. This is very important. Learn more about yourself. Remember when I told you I did the segment on those the personalities? It was the ambivert, the introvert, the extrovert, and the personalities. And when I saw in studying that, I realized what personality I am, and since that day, I've never been concerned about anything about how I act or anything like that. Not saying that I just act out of character, you know what I'm saying, but I don't be concerned because I know what my personality is, and now I understand how why I feel some things and different things, how my life is, how I am. Okay, so I don't worry about that anymore. Okay, now learn more about yourself. Do you know who you really are? Do you know who you really are? And remember, there's a scripture. I believe it. So you are. Let me see. Beautiful. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. I believe that's the scripture. And I'm not going to try to look it up right now, but you can, okay? You are beautiful. And I'm not quoting this out of scripture, but you're beautiful. And that what's that movie say? You're smart, something like that. That's you. That's you. So do you know who you really are? Think about it. Do you really know you? So ever since you were young, you have been conditioned to be one way or the other. Yes, you have. It may be weird just to spend a day being your spontaneous self, but sometimes it is the only way that you can learn how to be yourself. It's the only way. And I look at some of the groups like now I've seen this on TV where the Amish they send their I don't know whether they're teenagers, but they send them out and let them stay out away from home to experience things for themselves, and then I think they might go back home, or they. And I haven't studied this, but I've seen it on TV. Where they let them go out and experience different things, and I guess they make up their own minds as to whether they want to come back to the group or stay out there. I'm not putting a solid on this, but I saw it in the movies where they let them go out and adventure a little bit for a little while. Okay, so sometimes we have to do that. We have to do that. We have to, like I was saying earlier, we have to step out, get out of that box, get out of that box, get out of that box, and get outside the box and experience some things in your life. Sometimes they might not be positive, and then you'll know that's not for me. But don't just go so far and deeply into the negative that you get trapped into it, okay? Now, know who you are. Sometimes it's the only way you can learn how to be yourself. Number four, appreciate who you are. Good, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, no matter how weird you are, appreciate yourself. Each person is unique and everyone has at least a little weirdness in themselves. Appreciate your weirdness, and let it out. Sometimes you can do that. Okay. So, number five, be confident with who you are. Be confident with who you are. Do you ever doubt yourself? Doubting yourself can be very easy if you are constantly comparing yourself to others and wondering, what if? So, you can take pointers, good things, positive things that other people do, and then you can take those and if they're some of the pointers and things are for your life, you can take those and fashion them for yourself and not want to take what that person is using it for in their lives, but to take those nuggets and use them in your life for your benefit in order to help others. Okay. Now, instead of doubting yourself all the time, you should be confident with yourself and who you are. Showing confidence in yourself and your decisions will also show to others that you know what you're doing. That you know what you're doing. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for thinking negatively. Forgive yourself for talking without thinking twice. Forgive yourself for being rude to your superiors, your friends, your parents, or your siblings. And I just thought about something funny, but I won't bother that. Oh yeah, I guess I am too. You know our mother and father. This part in here said, forgive yourself for being rude to your superiors, your friends, your parents, or your siblings. When it got to your parents part, I was thinking I didn't have to forgive myself because by the time I come to, I might not remember what I did. But no, mom and daddy didn't knock us out, okay. But you know how we kind of have fun with that. But they would, if we needed that. We called it whooping back then. If we needed it, we got it. And now I thank God for it, even though when I was getting the whoopings, which I deserved, and no doubt about it, hollering and jumping and mama, 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 mama. I deserved every last one of them. And I thank God that I'm here today. They didn't kill me. They didn't kill me. It made a better person out of me. So when I saw that, well, forgive yourself about how you talk to your parents. Honey child, please. Not in the podcast, not in Cleester and Eula, Cleo and Eula's house, because you will find yourself thinking, hmm, yeah, she just slapped me across my mouth, backhanded me or something. It didn't bust our teeth out, didn't bloody our nose, didn't bloody our lips. They knew just how to smack us to get our attention. Okay, and we are met by the grace of God. Okay, now we're all sitting. That's so funny to me. And then our siblings, hey, had it right with each other. They didn't allow us to fight each other, even though some everything we might try to, but we both get it for fighting each other. We didn't fuss and cuss each other out, any of that of our parents. Now let me go on. Don't think negative thoughts about yourself or taking wrong steps or making wrong decisions. This kind of thinking puts your focus on the problem and not the solution. It's better to say good things about yourself than to say negative things. Always say positive things about yourself. Always saying, excuse me, positive things about yourself is a sign that you have forgiven yourself. And you can find these tips that will be helpful for you. And there's a link here, how to forgive yourself and move forward for a happier life.
I was thinking the other day, and I was thinking about the scripture about the Pharisees that they put burdens on other men that they would bear themselves. The scripture, something like that. And I think of things that we do, and I think of things that the Bible tells us that when people don't know any better, they'll think that they're doing things to honor God, but it's not honoring God. They're confused and they're that are really not pleasing to God, thinking that they're pleasing God. And then I think about things that, coming up, yeah, not at home, coming up in the church. And we don't do this, don't do that. And yes, I'm not negatively talking about that because we are supposed to and spend this life to the best of our God in order to do that. I'm not going to deal with this thing right here. Okay. And so there are some things that we might do. And then they say, well, don't bring shame on the church. If any of you have ever heard, not negatively. This is positively because I want to help somebody. And there are things that people will tell you, you're not supposed to be doing this, you're not supposed to be doing that. And then you find out they're doing exactly what they told you not to do, you're not supposed to do. They're doing that and worse. And then you might have done something that you thought was saving face and saving, doing some things, and then find out that the ones who are telling you not to do it have done things and worse. So we really have to be like forgiving yourself. And so there are things that we may have done, we have done, thinking that we were doing the right thing at that time. Then later on we find out that that didn't happen after all. I want to talk over how you go through this at this point because you find out that one telling you not to do it, you should have done. God do this and that, we're doing worse than what you were doing. And so now you have guilt. Now you have guilt. And I'm not just talking about the church. I'm not doing I love the church. I love the saints of God. And I don't have to try to convince you. That's just me. It's the truth, okay? I love everybody. I love everybody. There are people that have told us, you don't do this, you don't do this. And well, shoot. And then you see things, and then I know I saw something one time. I was really, really, really. I saw something one time, and I really thought at that present time that the world would come to me because I had been taught by the person, you don't do this, you don't do that. And then I saw that person do something, and it just like, well, I guess it turned over, just flipped for real. So you have to forgive yourself. All of that in the past. You ask God to forgive you, and you forgive yourself because God says when you repent to Him, then He doesn't remember it. Those that He casts behind His back into the sea of forgetfulness. But then Satan wants us to remember things. He wants to try to keep these things in our minds to cause us to have a guilt trip for the rest of our lives. But we have to bind Him in the name of Jesus, rebuke Him, and forgive ourselves, and go on and live the best, the happiest life that you can live. Okay? Do that. Do that. So forgive yourself. Number 7, stop being negative about yourself. And I think I mentioned something that you hear people say, I'm just stupid. I'm just crazy. And I tell people, don't say that about yourself. Don't say that. I'm just don't say that whether you're praying or not. Don't say that about yourself. Stop being negative about yourself. I remember Michael, our brother Michael told us one time, I think it was the boys' club in Cleveland. She might not feel like watching the baby. She could go on comments. I think it was on I think he was from the boys' club. And one of the young men said, Mhm. I'm silly like that. And Michael said, no, you're not. Don't say that about yourself. You are not. You are not. And sometimes this is what children hear in their homes, in their environment. You just feel, you're just like this. You're just like that one. You'll amount to no good. You'll never be that. The children hear that. Stop being negative about yourself. And people go through their lives thinking these things because it's been drilled into their minds. But I'm telling you today, you can tell whoever you need to tell that you don't have to be like that. Somebody negatively now, I'm not talking about people trying to help you and you know that. But stop being negative about yourself. You can live a good life. You can get all these thoughts. You just pray and ask God to remove those things. You work on being the person that you want to be. Stop being negative. You look at everything as a glass half full or glass. It can be easy to be negative about yourself. When it comes to being happy, it is vital that you learn how to be yourself and to be more positive. And I think some of you might remember when I had my radio program, it was KGGR in Dallas, Positively Think. I had that because I was spreading positivity and teaching people and coaching people on how to think positively about themselves and about life and how to live a really successful life. That was back in the early 90s after the. Okay, number 8, find a hobby that you love. Everyone has something that they live for or that they love to do. Figure out what you love to do and make a hobby out of it. Doing what you love can make you much happier. And I'm pretty sure that you have known people like working with people or fellowshipping with people in church or just in passing built a relationship with people, and it doesn't mean you go to their house all the time and do all that, but you have a relationship where you can have conversations with these people, and then you might one day, when you go to their house or whatever, and you might see that they have gifts and talents that you never, they might paint, they might draw, they might build things out of wood, they might be musicians, they're just talents and gifts that people have that when we find out they have them, it just almost good. So you have something that you can do. You're not already doing it. You have something that you love to do. Do it. Do it. Okay? Learn from your mistakes. And see, I was talking earlier about doing things that we thought were right, but were not right, but we thought that they were right because they become a guilt trip. Okay? Learn from your mistakes. You can really learn more about yourself than you think, and you really can. You really can. And then when you learn from that mistake, turn it into positivity. Okay? Turn it into something positive. Turn it into something positive. Okay? Mistakes in your life do not, and I said mistakes, it's a mistake, okay? In your life, do not always need to be seen negatively. Think about what learn from it and move on. Number 2, strive for what you want to accomplish. Being yourself does not have to mean that you have to be stuck in status quo. Aim for what you want to achieve and strive for that accomplishment. You can improve yourself while still remaining true to yourself. You can improve yourself while still remaining true to yourself. And it's a fact. And there's some more tips about being true to yourself now. This is lifehack.org. O-R-G. Do you know the motivation style? There's so much we can learn about this. just like studying and just like and just think about ourselves. What I really like. Have you ever thought about what you really, really like to do? Have you ever thought about your favorite food, favorite colors, your favorite anything? And then the things that you really don't like. Have you ever really taken a hard, cold look at those things or even thought about those things? We have to slow our roll and think about them and then sort out, you know, take the bad, cast it to the side, take the good, pile it up, and make your life better. And like Elder David said, you have to go back to track and take a drink of water. You got to do that. Okay, this is Quantum and Shirley. Cleester and Eula, and as I first stated, Cleester's not feeling well today. I'm just pray for her. And Eula is back at work, and so we're working on getting her, if we got to get it, put her segment in here until school is out in California, up in San Francisco, then we're working. But don't forget to tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, we will be um, in session on this format. The Lighthouse Women's Ministry Association of America's Let the Women Speak revival. Tonight is First Lady Paula Smith and Apostle Willie Washington. They will be the speakers. Love you. Enjoy your day.